Thank you all for being here. I'm going to first say that it is an honor to play Army. I'm extremely grateful. I know these guys are. Ethan's father's in the military, has been in the military. It's an honor to compete on a field with Army. We had an opportunity the first game of the year to play Navy, and I am just grateful that there's men and women that will serve our country and put themselves in harm's way still in this country and represent, our country the right way. Those men that we competed with in the other dugout, they'll go on to be some of the greatest leaders in our country. And we're very, very thankful for them and their service. So I just wanted to start off by saying that it's impressive what they do. Certainly, we played very, very well today. It started with Edge coming out there and really throwing a shutout first, and first inning he was in complete command of the ball game. And I thought our approach against their starter was as good as I've seen us have in my time against a opening starter in a regional. I got to be candid with you. Yesterday I watched the 5 shutout innings he threw at Arkansas early this year. I saw how he pitched at UNC Charlotte. I saw how he pitched at Kansas State. And I felt like we were going to be in for one today, knowing the character of their team and the quality of their team. But our offensive approach in that first inning and really the entire game was very mature and very professional. And it was great to see an Edge continue to go out there and throw up zeros, and got a lot of different players in the game. It was great to get everybody that we had position player-wise in the game, and just fortunate that we're 1-0 and looking forward to playing tomorrow night.
Start with questions for the players. Jeff White here.
Brian, did your having pitched against Army last season at Elon, did that help at all today? Familiarity with them?
I mean, a little bit. We were actually watching video of it the other night, and not a bunch of, when we played them last year, they didn't have a ton of starters returning, so a little bit. But, I mean, I just went out there and tried to execute our game plan.
Kip Coons, Press Box View. Ryan, throwing a perfect game, and you're in the dugout to start the 6th. Your reaction, did you know ahead of time that was going to be it for you?
No, I did not. But, I mean, I knew that Coach Oak and Coach Joe are going to do what's best for the team, so.
Mike.
Mike Barr, Richmond Town Dispatch. You could walk us through the home run and then just the impact of having such a big start offensively, getting those 10 runs in 2 innings. How much did that kind of get this team obviously rolling?
Yeah, there's not a better feeling than hitting a home run early on in the game with the huge crowds that we have. And, I mean, the energy, not just in our dugout, but, like, the whole stadium was buzzing. The at-bat, got down to 2 strikes pretty early, kind of fought back into the count, and he tried to come in on me, and got the hands out in front, and, luckily it went out, and, just rounding the bases, probably had the biggest smile.
Jackie, and then we'll take question in the back.
Jackie Finchler for 24/7 for both of you. You touched on it, the crowd. It's the biggest crowd in postseason history for the program. How much did it contribute to you guys, and how much did you do not?
Playing at Disharoon, it's the best place in the world to play, especially with the crowds that we get, and just seeing the stadium fill up just all around the stadium and having constant support from fans throughout the game was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, we've had great crowds the whole year, but, I mean, obviously you said that this was a record-breaking crowd. It was awesome to play in front of. We have arguably the best fans in the country. When I was actually done with my pregame bullpen, when I was coming in, I kind of just took a second to look around and just kind of take it all in before the game started. But we have a great crowd, and hopefully we continue to they continue to show out.
Okay. Preston.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, our lineup is very talented, and we feed off one another. Just going up there with the right approach and consistently giving the best shot that we have to, give the guy behind us a shot at driving in runs. I know today was a great example of guys just doing their best, getting out there and competing and having a great approach.
Mike?
Brian, you were asked about kind of coming out after 5 and in such a good spot, 56 pitches. What was kind of your goal today? Did you have in mind, I want to get deep, I want to be dominant early? And do you feel like you could come back if there's a Monday game, for example, and pitch again in this regional?
Yeah, I mean, my game plan doesn't really change start to start, to be honest. Like, I know how to do well when I'm in the bottom of the zone, filling up the zone early and often. I think that's usually what makes me pretty good. I mean, to talk on your second point, I guess we'll see how I feel, but, I mean, I'll be ready whenever my number's called upon, so.
Jeff?
Ethan, a lot of guys in this lineup, yourself included, got off to hot starts at the plate this season and have stayed hot. Casey started a little slow, but he really picked it up of late. Do you feel it was just a matter of time for him?
I mean, Casey's a very talented baseball player. Even early on in the season, when the numbers might have not shown that he was doing too well, he was just constantly on the barrel, hitting it straight at guys. And now this time around, like, balls are falling, like he's hitting balls hard and he's consistently having a great approach. Our guys throughout our lineup are really tough to get out, and that's one thing I love competing with these guys is it's just a very fun team to be on.
Greg Waters, Saber.com, just for both of the players. You had what, you're talking about complementary football, offense, defense, and special teams, but it seemed like today, what you guys are doing personified complementary baseball, both defensively, good change. Could you just kind of comment on that? Or
Ethan, why don't you take that one?
Ed, you want to answer first?
Yeah. I mean, Ethan's already talked about it, but I mean, we have a great offense. As a pitcher, it kind of makes your job a little bit easier knowing that you're going to get run support. But that can't change your mindset when you go out there. You just got to find a way to throw up zeros and get us back in the dugout.
Last one in the front.
Giants on New Baseball, Brian, when you said you took a moment to kind of soak it in, what goes through your mind then? And you think back to St. Joe's, the Elon, do those things kind of come to your mind at that time?
Well, I didn't experience anything like this at those schools, so, I mean, not really. But, I don't know, like, I was just trying to, one of my teammates, Alex Green, always jokes with me, just soak it all in, but I was really just trying to, like, say what his words are and just honestly just soak it all in, because, I mean, this is just what I came here for, and so I'm just thankful for the opportunity.
All right. Thanks, guys. You guys can wait for your phone to go back to it.
Grab your power.
Do you get a bonus for all that microphone work?
I do, yes, I do.
You should.
It's going on my resume.
All right,
Mike.
What's your second question, right? Jeff, the first one.
Hey, Brian, because of what Kyle and Jake have done this year, they can almost overshadow some of the other guys. What about the second-year class of the position players with Griff, Casey, and Ethan, what they've done? How would you do?
Yeah, I would add Colin Tuft and Anthony Stefan in there as well. I mean, you think about collectively that current sophomore class, all the experience they had last year on an NCAA regional team and all the at-bats they collected. They went away to summer ball, had really good summers, and came back and are much improved players. And that's the cycle of development that we look for. And all of those guys have jumped on board, and it's made the depth of our offense, Jeff, really, really good. And certainly a lot is to be made out of O'Donnell, Geloff, Teal. Those guys are phenomenal players, but you look at these guys in our uniform that'll be here again another year next year, and the experience that they've had over these 2 years, I mean, you just can't replace it. It's a big reason why we're here right now.
Mike.
Can you take us through the decision on Edge? Did you
Yeah.
go into the game thinking if you get up early, you want to get him out, do you want to pitch him again, or what's the?
Well, you know, having had the experience for, 30 years coaching in NCAA tournaments, first of all, I never go into a game assuming anything or even planning anything from the standpoint of, okay, if this happens, maybe we'll get them out of here early or whatever it might be. But as the game goes on and we started to take hold of the game and he was so efficient with his pitches, you know, the combination of the possibility of him coming back again later in the weekend, and also, too, getting other pitchers out there and getting them experience. It was my plan all along, whether it was a one-run game or a 10-run game, to get Jack O'Connor in the game because I really, really like him, and I think there's the kind of guy that will make the difference in advancing out of here, and then that sets him up to be available, he started all year for us to be available in the back part of the weekend as well. So that's a long answer to pulling Edgington out, but I just felt like we were in the control of the game, and it was good to get some of those other pitchers out there because, you know, hey, listen, we'd love to win tomorrow night, you'd love to win the next day and be done with it, but it rarely goes that way, right? And so you got to have some foresight and think ahead of different scenarios that can happen, whether that's pulling him out of the game or getting a couple of those inexperienced pitchers in NCAA regionals, an inning out there to get them ready for a potential opportunity down the road.
How close to a perfect start were those first 2 innings for you?
As perfect as it can be. I mean, Edge went through 6 hitters and was pitching great, and you know we jumped him off offensively and capitalized every opportunity that we had. So I think in the bottom of the second, O'Donnell was up with first and second when they brought the lefty in. That might have been the first or second inning. I'm not sure which, but. You know, it was just huge to, you know, hey, listen, you can be in all the regionals that you want. You can be in Omaha as many times you want. A player, a coach, still has that excitement and those little bit of butterflies when you're playing the first game. And so to be able to jump out like we did and for the players just to relax and play the game was really, really important.
Preston?
Yeah, we talked yesterday just kind of about the crowd that you were expecting. How did it move up? I know it's a noon on a Friday, but
Yeah.
kind of what were your thoughts?
Well, I tell you, when we decided to submit our bid and put in the game times, you know, I have always made the decision to play the first game. There's a lot of reasons behind that, but I made that decision knowing that our crowd would be here for a noon start. And what a unbelievable atmosphere for 12 o'clock noon on a Friday. I know a lot of people play the night game because they're concerned about that, but I was not concerned about that with our fans. Our fans have been loyal. This thing has been built over the years. Today and this weekend is why we put $25 million into this stadium 5 years ago, and that was a small part of that was for player development. The biggest part of it was for our fans and for them to have the best venue possible to enjoy not only the regular season, but postseason baseball in Charlottesville. So I thank all the fans, and I'm looking forward to seeing them all tomorrow night as well.
Kip Coops, press box view. Brian, I might have missed this yesterday, but your decision to go with Edge over Parker, Early, even Jack O'Connor, why?
Well, first of all, Brian Edgington has made some high-quality Friday starts for us. You know, when Nick Parker got hit with the line drive against Florida State, we injected Edge into the Friday night start spot, and he did a phenomenal job. And so I just felt like with his experience that he's had this year, he was an all-conference pitcher, you know, and has had a great year for us. And I know how much it means to him, right, to get this opportunity to play in an NCAA tournament. And we just felt like it was the right matchup to get us off to a great start.
We'll take Preston and then Mike.
Yeah, Coach, you've seen it all year, just this offense and what Getting into a situation like this, you never know what it's going to look like in the postseason.
Yeah.
Things being tightened up, but just kind of your impression of how they attack.
Like I said at the start, that's as good of offensive approach that I've seen against a pitcher like their starter. Knowing he was going to throw a lot of sliders, change-ups to our left-handed hitters. Sometimes if you're overly excited as a hitter and trying to do too much, you can come out of your legs a little bit, roll over a ground ball, and the discipline on fringe pitches and the discipline that we showed against him looked like the experienced kind of lineup that we have. And hopefully that kind of approach will continue as the arms change.
Brian, one on Ethan Anderson. What
Yeah.
is his development in your program in life? What strides has he made? And also, how valuable is he on the defensive side of things?
Well, Ethan Anderson's a phenomenal first baseman. He's a really good catcher too. You just haven't seen that, but he's an outstanding first baseman defensively. He's taken a lot of pride in it. Hey, let's all remember, this young man should be a freshman here, right? He entered Virginia an entire year early because he's a bright young man that was a great student, decided to come to UVA and bypass his senior year of high school. And his development as a hitter has, certainly he was a key guy for us last year. He's made a huge jump in his consistency. His balance in the batter's box is as good as you'll see. And I'm excited for our team because of how much better he's gotten, and he's going to have a long, long future in this game.
With Edge, he struggled the last month. What gave you confidence that he could be the guy to get you going in the regional? Was there something in his bullpen this week, or was there any inclination that he gave you what he did today?
Yeah, it really was what we've seen through the body of work of the whole year. And, when we've needed him to jump into the Friday role, he did and did a great job. Sure, there's inconsistencies with every guy, but we know that he's going to go out there and give us his best. He pitched out of the bullpen in the ACC tournament because the last 3 weeks we just wanted to do everything we could to win each game. And he gave up a couple runs, but every one of them was a C&I ground ball. It wasn't like he was out there not throwing strikes. He's got a low walk total and a high strikeout total, and that, knowing how much it means to him and his consistency all year, I just felt like he was the right guy to get us off to a great start. That, and you're in it to win the whole thing. Sure, you take one game at a time, but you have to make calculated decisions based on experience to put your team in the best possible position to not only win today, but hopefully to win the whole thing.
Right. Any other questions for Coach? All right.
Thank you all for being here. Meeting adjourned. That's what you're supposed to do in this thing, right?